After my last ride in the cold rain, I decided it was time to add a little upgrade to the motorcycle. Heated grips. Had heated grips on previous motorcycles, but I just had not gotten around to installing them on this one yet. So today, we're going to install some heated grips. Once you empty the contents of the package, you'll find a user's instruction guide, small bag with some glue, a couple zip ties, and a piece of double-sided sticky mounting tape. A bag with some miscellaneous hardware in it for the controller bracket, which I've already mounted to the back here. The controller assembly, a left grip, a right grip, and a connector which goes to the battery, which is fused. Good reason for test fitting is to make sure that the connectors actually connect. And this is the less expensive version of this kit. There's another kit which comes with watertight connectors. I don't know if you can see in the footage here, the pin connectors themselves move quite readily within these connectors. Some care needs to be taken when you're attaching them. And the connectors we have, this goes to main power battery, which is this connector, and they are keyed. One is square, one is half round. These will correspond to the female side of the connector. There's two connectors that are shorter in length coming from the controller. These go to the actual grips themselves. These are also keyed, but they do not seem to be labeled for right or left, as I don't think it actually makes a difference which one you connect up to which. What is important is you put the left grip on the left-hand side, and you put the grip with the right on the right-hand side. If you were not yet aware, on a Royal Enfield Himalayan, mine is specifically a 2022 model, the grips have bar ends holding them on, and they use a 6mm hex wrench in order to remove them. So you take off the bar end leads, and on mine, the grip itself just required a little bit of twist and force and it came right off. So what you want to do is you want to compare the actual lengths of these grips, because you do not want it too long because you have to put the bar end weight back on. I guess you could leave it off if you wanted, but mine are going to go back on. So this needs to be trimmed. So there's a little indentation cast into the grip itself. Each of these marks a point for trimming. So I have the grip trimmed to length. I have temporarily installed it back on the handlebar, and these particular grips have this nub which sticks off the end, and this is where the electrical connectors come in. And it's very important to pay attention to how this is oriented. If you put it up this way, your clutch, at least on the 2022 Himalayan, will not be able to engage properly. So you need to rotate this far enough away to clear where the clutch pedal, the clutch lever engages. So you want to make sure that you rotate this nub out of the way of the clutch lever. Once you've test fitted the grip, figured out the orientation for the nub, pull back off a little bit of super glue that's provided with the kit. Sparingly put a little bit down the handlebar, slide the grip back on. Make sure you have a rag handy, because this is a pretty tight fit, and what it's going to do, it's basically going to wipe the super glue towards this control pod, and it will drip down the connector and grip on anything underneath it. Left side grip is installed. Bar end's back on. I have some hand guards on mine. Really it's just a matter of 6mm hex. Take that out, take the weight off, old grip comes off, cut the new grip to length, put it back on, verify that the connection nub does not interfere with the clutch lever, glue it, and then it's time to route the wire. So here I have the left heated grip and then the controller mounted. See, I tightened the wires up a little bit underneath to modify the bracket just a little bit, but it is a softer type steel. Easy enough to trim with a hacksaw or even a pair of side snips and file up the rough edges. And once you get it where it needs to go, you can easily bend the bracket. Still enough room, get in there. Doesn't impede that function. And these are the few bits that I trimmed off of that bracket. On to the right side. Now the right side grip, because it acts as the throttle, there's a few more steps involved. But the first basic step is the same. Take off the bar end, which again is a 6mm hex. But at this point, this is not just going to slide off. This is actually sitting on a plastic housing underneath here. This grip is on here pretty well. You're not going to pry this off. You're not going to pull it off. This needs to be cut off. Let's get a nice sharp knife and take care of that. Make sure you don't touch yourself. Now the challenge is to get this grip onto here. And we have nubs all along this. These need to be taken off and smooth so that this, which is not malleable on the inside, can slide over here. And this will definitely need to be glued. This is going to require a little bit of work. Lots of ways you can do this: sandpaper, file, knife, electric tools, whatever. Use what works best for you. Just be careful to minimize the removal to the little nibs, ridges that are on here. Here you can see I've removed most of the ridges and nubs, sanded it down a little bit. The grip, heated grip, will slide on. Now compared to the left grip, this nub sitting off here at the bottom of the heated grip, it's not really going to affect the brake. The more vital aspect is where this wire goes, because it's going to need to go forward as you throttle up, and you want to attach it, but you don't want it sitting down here where it obscures the starter button or will interact with the starter button while you're riding. So kind of want to attach it up here, and since it's going to rotate forward, the slack will be in there. So there's the right grip, glued. We're going to not twist it, let the glue set. Got the cable routed under here, starter button, easily accessible. And it's just a matter to put the bar end back on and secure it back in. sure that you trimmed enough off that it doesn't catch and hang up here. But we're not going to twist it too much. We're going to give it a little bit more time for that glue to dry. And then it's a matter of routing the wires and putting the controller up and hooking it to the battery. I've had sufficient time for the glue on the throttle grip to set. And as you can see, I've got the connection cable run underneath. Starter button's easily accessible and free movement, clears underneath the housing, does not in any way clash with the brake lever. I spared you the footage of removing the gas tank. There are enough videos online that show how to remove the gas tank. Got the power wires here. They need to be connected up to the battery. Okay, all the wires are connected up. All the connectors are connected. It's connected to the battery. Grips are mounted. And it's time for a final test. Positive turns it on. Negative turns it off. True test will be next time it's cold and rainy. My hands are warm, and this was worth the effort. Thanks for watching.